YouTube, how we doing? PPS back. It is Monday. We're coming at you guys with huge primetime games. We got a 10-game NBA slate tonight as well. Finishing up on week 17 for NFL. Joined as always by my guy Stu, and we got our guy AC in the house. I think it's been a little bit, right? A little bit over a month since we had you on here.
Yeah, it's been a while, man. I guess first thing is Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's to both of you guys and your families. Thank you for having me on. Today is awesome, right? There's so many sports going on, and we finally have potentially like the best Monday Night Football game of the year with two really elite teams, two really elite quarterbacks. So I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Stu, how was your weekend? How'd you do?
Yeah, it was a pretty good weekend. I came out in the green. Obviously, a small profit in NFL, about half a unit, and then another unit, or no, I guess another half a unit in the NBA. So, a small win. We'll take that, build a little bit momentum slowly. But like AC said, absolutely fantastic game tonight. Obviously, love when we all just get to sit around and talk about a great football game. And then after that, it's not just like we have 2 or 3 NBA games. We've got like a strong 10-game slate. So absolutely one of my favorite kind of days. Tons of stuff to bet on. And yeah, I'm excited to get into it, answer some questions, do all that fun stuff we normally do.
Yeah, we got college football all day today, really. I think it started at 11, and we got a noon game. USC Tulane is honestly a really underrated game. My boy, I know I talked to Stu a lot about my boy Tajay. Tajay Spears is a savage, dude. I saw his rushing touchdown is set at 1.5. They don't even give you a rushing touchdown for only one. It was like minus 600 on DraftKings for him to score a touchdown today against USC. So I'm really excited for that game too. So, yeah, we have a lot to talk about. We have some takeaways from this weekend, obviously from this NFL slate. You're a Cowboy fan, aren't you, AC?
I am born and raised here in Dallas, man.
How we feeling about them after that Thursday night game?
I feel pretty good. The issue is sitting at the 5 seed. Tom Brady looked really good yesterday, so that means Dallas has to go to Tampa Bay. Unless the Eagles choke the NFC East away, then Dallas could get that number 1 seed. But no, the team is good. They're healthy. Thought they did really well in terms of kind of load managing their team from Pollard, Zeke, guys like that. So easy win against Tennessee, and hopefully we take care of business week 18.
Yeah, it was weird without Pollard, man. It's just such a different type of offense without my boy Tony.
Yeah. And hey, I just wanted to say I was on the stream on Friday. I came in here and I said, it's going to happen. I said the Cowboys took care of business already. The Eagles are going to lose to the Saints, and then they're going to lose again next week, and then they're going to lose at Tampa Bay in the playoffs. Step 1 is already down. Cowboys should take care of business. Washington is now eliminated, which means we'll probably be starting Sam Howell next week at quarterback, which means that should be, another victory right there. So it's just one of those situations. They called me drunk. They called me stupid up here.
Well, you also brought up Washington was making it in that portion. Well, so you had 3 steps. I'll give you your 3 steps. You got 1, and then Washington just gets absolutely demolished by Deshaun Watson throwing like 9 completions in the whole game. That was like such an ugly game, dude. That game was so tough to watch.
Yeah, no, I mean, Ron Rivera's probably heading out of town pretty soon. Like I said, I imagine Sam Howell starts next game. That's what I would do at least as Washington. But yeah, Carson Wentz, whoever wants him next, have fun. We did not enjoy the Carson Wentz experience. They were chanting Heineke starting in like the first quarter at the stadium all game long. So that tells you how most of the fans feel. But yeah, we're out of here. So now all I can do, I'm just going to root for the Cowboys. I like to root against the Eagles. I mean, I won't specifically.
Okay. Common enemy. I like that.
Yeah. But honestly, I just want my prediction to be true. Like, I really want the Eagles to lose at Tampa Bay. If that could somehow happen, I'd be so incredibly happy. So, shout out to all the commenters. I see we got nothing right now. It's because they're scared. They don't know what to say. They were intimidated last week. Yeah, we can keep it moving now. I don't need to keep us there any longer.
Yeah, no, I was supposed to go to the game this weekend, wasn't able to get up there, but I would have been leaving at halftime anyway, it looks like, because man, that was a bad game, dude. Jefferson destroyed everybody's fantasy teams this week. You make it to the fantasy playoffs because of him, probably, and he just gets absolutely shut down. Did you guys see him gritty on the field, Jair, after he just gets a pass block?
Yeah, like literally right next to JJ. But that's the second time he's only had one catch in a game, and the first time happened against the Packers and Zaire. So, I mean, they know how to defend him. I think you and I, all three of us, have been low on Minnesota all year long, right? So we're seeing some of that come into fruition. What would be crazy if they continue to slide here, get manhandled by these teams, and then win a playoff game? That'd be crazy to see. So I think it's honestly a potential good buy low spot because they were kind of the team of destiny for a while. All those fourth quarter comebacks.
Yeah, the only thing I'll say is, I don't know about you, I've been trying to look to buy low. Like every week we've had chances to buy low, and they've been underdogs to the Lions, to the Packers, and not just 1 point, 3.5. So it feels like we've almost had our chances to buy low, and the Vikings just keep showing us, hey, maybe we are just a mediocre team. Like, I don't know. Like, it's interesting. But yeah, Alexander Jefferson is going to be one of the more fun rivalries to watch in the next season. That was awesome. That the gritty right after the pass breakup, that's a great TV right there. So that was the highlight of that game for sure.
Yeah, and the ref getting a helmet to the back after he throws a pick, he just throws it. I'm like, dude, that was so close to his head. I'm like, dude, you could have just gave this dude a concussion on the sideline. It was nuts. But yeah, that game was fun to watch, at least as a Packers fan. But yeah, I think all of our teams kind of did what we needed them to do. Obviously, getting rid of Rivera would be what you need to do, because I sent Stu probably 9 text messages per Washington game about how Ron Rivera is the worst coach ever. And he's like pushing, like, I hate Mike McCarthy. Obviously, I hate both of your guys as head coaches, but that's just because I'm a Packers fan and I just didn't like McCarthy. So, but hopefully you'll see some Sam Howell. What did you think about the interview before we get off of this game? Stu, what did you think about the interview with Ron Rivera?
Yeah, I just wanted to forget about the game, okay? I just wanted to move on with my life, keep it going, enjoy, some real life activities. And then my phone is blown up because of this stuff. People in my Discord going at it, arguing. It's just a brutal look, man. Like, I understand the argument that all the coach's job is just to keep his guys ready to go to win the game. I get that argument. Come on, man. It's 2023. How do you not, like, you're the head coach of a football team. How do you not know this? Like, that's insane. It would honestly be kind of crazy to me if he didn't know who would be eliminated from the playoffs on, like, the other side of the bracket. You know what I mean? The fact that he doesn't even know what's going on with his own team is crazy. And that he admitted to it. He didn't cover. He didn't just, oh, yeah, whatever, next question, keep it moving. He was just like, oh, I had no clue. Like, it's a terrible look. It's giving them cover to fire him, honestly. It's probably the worst look possible. Oh, I'm getting sick right now just thinking about it. God damn, man. That's terrible. I wish that interview never happened.
Well, at least we get to move on. We get to go on to probably the best game of the week for sure. Obviously, we have 2 of the top teams in the AFC. Bills, I think 1.5 point favorites. They've been sitting around that line most of the time. AC, I'll kick it to you. Do you have any thoughts on this game? Obviously, all of our teams are in the NFC, but we look at the AFC. These are probably 2 of the top 3 teams in the AFC coming along with the Chiefs as well. What's your thoughts on this game? You have anybody that you kind of see maybe breaking out tonight too, or a side that you lean?
Yeah, I mean, this is a true powerhouse matchup, right? The Bills have won 6 in a row. Bengals, hottest team in the league, won 7 in a row. Joe Burrow had a really bad start to the year. Week 1, I think he had 4 interceptions, and then he's been perfect basically ever since. Like, he is a man on a mission. So the Bengals have been really, really good. Bills really inconsistent all season long, up and down. They're only 7-7 and 1 against the spread. I think the Bengals are 12-3, so they've been elite, covering the spread. With all that being said, I think I lean the Bills here. I think their ceiling is still much higher in terms of pure talent. It's really going to come down to turnovers. Josh Allen has been really loose with the football, especially in the red zone. If he could take care of the ball, I think he's going to be able to win this game and potentially go away with it, because I think this is it's more important for the Bills, in my opinion, because the Bengals made the Super Bowl last year. They know what they're about. With that being said, I think I like the Bills, and most likely Josh Allen props as well. I think he's going to tuck the rock and run a ton, because he does that in prime time, and he does that against other really good teams. That's what he does. He's a big wagon when it comes to running. So rush attempts, rush yards, things like that. issue is maybe the value's gone by now. But I still think he's going to have a pretty big game.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I think I'm real excited. Like I said, I do lean the Bills as well. I think that's definitely, if I had to take a side, the one I would. I think the most interesting thing, I think the Bills are very motivated to win this game. From everything I've read, they've never won a road playoff game under Sean McDermott before. They know how important that home field advantage is. They need to lock that in. That winning is the only right. They kind of control their own destiny in a sense, right? Where just all they can do is win this game. They can't really focus on other outcomes. They need to win this game. And I think they're going to come out a little bit more motivated. I just think at the end of the day, when you got two elite teams, I think the Bills might just want it a little bit more right here. And then, like AC said, they also have a little bit of a higher ceiling, in my opinion, as well, both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball, with guys like Tre'Davious White now back, who's an absolute demon back there. And that defensive line just gets healthier every week. Obviously, still no Von Miller, probably not until the playoffs. But I agree, it should be a very good matchup. But I would slightly lean the Bills as well.
Love it. And I'll be leaning the same way. Obviously, I'm gonna be on Josh Allen stuff here in a second, but we got 2 plays for you guys in this game before we head over to the 10-game NBA slate. We'll have 4 spots in NBA, 2 in NFL, and I know you just talked about the Bills there, Stu. So I'll let you take away your first play of the day for us.
Sounds good. Yeah, this one's starting to get a little bit more popular. I've seen it moving up to around 73, which is good. I'd played anywhere under 75.5 yards. We're going Stephon Diggs over 71.5 receiving yards right here, -115. Got this one over on BetMGM. What I like the most about this is it's kind of like the definition of a buy low spot, right? Over these last couple of weeks, Diggs hasn't been as involved, right? You saw just the 2-target game just a week or so ago. And in the post conference, right, what did Josh Allen say? And Josh Allen, as we know, he's one of those guys. He's real honest in those post game conferences about whether it's about himself, the team performance. And one of his major stressors was, we got to get Stephon Diggs involved, right? What we were doing just wasn't enough right there. And it was kind of showing. So I do believe Diggs will be a focal point in this offense. And then when we want to look at the Bengals, what is their strength? Ever since they got DJ Reader back, that's a strong run defense right there. And guess what? The Bills, they don't want to run the ball anyway. We've known this since the beginning of last year. They're one of the highest teams in pass rate over expectation pretty much every single week and been top 3 since the beginning of last season. This is a team that wants to throw the ball. Now they're going up against a good run defense. That's not going to incentivize them to run the ball anymore. So I expect a very pass-heavy game. Obviously, the 50 total is huge for this one as well. And then guess what? The Bengals' best corner got injured in the end of October. And since that has happened, it has not been good. Opposing wide receivers, we just saw Godwin go for 83 and Mike Evans go for 83. We just saw Kendrick Bourne and Jacoby Myers clear this one for the Patriots last week. And then even if you want to look even farther, wide receiver ones have had a lot of success against this Bengals team. And I think it's going to happen here. I think they've been real. If you look at some of the film stuff too, Cover One did a great video about the weakness over the middle of the field that the Bengals have, especially on play action. I think just like AC mentioned, Allen's going to be running all over the place in this one. That's going to make the play action even scarier. That deep middle kind of zone is where I believe they want to target. I think Diggs is going to have a huge game right here. So the targets have been there outside of that one bad game. He still hit this in 10 of 15 on the season. I think it's just like what we were doing with Mike Evans. You know, public was a little bit low on them. We take advantage of a bad line right here. I think Diggs should have a real good game. I mean, if this was last season, just before we move on, what is this? A primetime end of the year game for Stephon Diggs? What is this year? 90? 91, a couple bad games are going to really bring us down 20 yards. I think he probably clears 100 in this one.
7.5 receptions probably too, like crazy numbers like that.
Yep.
Any thoughts on this one here, AC?
No, I like it. I think the Bengals are going to mix between zone and man. So when they play zone, I think Diggs is going to eat, and then that's going to give opportunities for Josh Allen to run when they switch back to man. So I think the Bills offense, they should be super focused for this game. This is basically the biggest game of the year for them. I think it's bigger than that KC game because it's the time and place and situation right now, because they still have a shot to finish, first place overall in the AFC and get that bye week. So this win right here would basically confirm that. And I think we're going to see a game plan where the playbook is going to be completely open, right? That's one of the issues with week 17, week 18 type games. A lot of these elite teams, they just play vanilla. They don't really show anything, but this is a big game with a lot of implications. So I think the Bills will open it up.
I love it. I love it. And I'll be heading into the same game too. I'm doing the same game parlay with the same guy here. One, Josh Allen rushing over 34.5, and then Josh Allen passing over 229.5. This is over on DraftKings in their same game parlay section. And I just wanted to look at Josh Allen against these pretty good playoff teams here, right? We're going to look at the teams in like the top 5. We look at his game against Kansas City. He went for 330, had 12 carries in that game. That is really what I was impressed with, that he's actually getting running all the time. We had Miami, 400 passing yards, 63 pass attempts. He had 47 rushing yards in that one as well. Again, his last matchup with Miami was 304, 77 rushing yards there. So in these bigger games, we've seen him run the ball, right? Even against Detroit, when that game was close on Thanksgiving, all the eyes are on you. He hit this both in that game as well. But what I also like was what you talked about, Stu, was the Bengals' run defense against running backs is actually very, very good. 3.9 yards per carry. That ranks 5th in the NFL. They've looked very, very good against running backs. And what I do love is Devin Singletary and James Cook both can catch passes very well. We can get the dump offs. That's going to be another part of the run game. I think that even those digs, kickouts, right? Just those quick throws, let them get moving. That's going to be part of the run game. I'd be surprised if either one of these running backs get 10 carries at all in this one. I think it's just going to be put on Josh Allen's plate. Like I said, against Miami, he had 63 pass attempts. They're not afraid to do that, right? And this is the game you'd want to unleash Josh Allen and let him do his thing. And in these bigger games, you have seen him run the ball more, over eight carries in these primetime games. I'm counting that, like I said, Thanksgiving. I'm counting Miami in a big divisional game. And we look over at the Bengals. We talked about their run defense against running backs. They have not played a mobile quarterback, right? They had Cooper Rush instead of Dak in that game. No Lamar Jackson in there, or Lamar Jackson hit it in one game, 58 yards. He's the only mobile quarterback. They just played Mac Jones. They play Baltimore at the end of the season. So all of their numbers that skew to them being very good against rushing quarterbacks, they haven't played any. They haven't had any experience with it. Probably the most mobile guy is Patrick Mahomes, and he's not trying to run the football. So I think this is a really fun matchup, and I think that Josh Allen is literally going to be starting to truck stick some of these linebackers coming up and trying to fill these holes because, like I said, they haven't played anybody anywhere close to him.
Yeah, no, and we've done this a couple times in the show, right? Where it's obviously good to have all the stats in the world, but it's important to kind of apply that knowledge, right? If a team is elite against rushing quarterbacks and the best guys they played are Tyler Huntley and Mac Jones over the last couple weeks, it really doesn't give you an accurate kind of sample size. And when we look at how this team is set up, right, it's a team that runs a lot of man coverage, and guess what? It's a team that has a very good rush defense. That's a recipe for the quarterback having to get out of the pocket and make his own plays. And as for the 230 passing yards, I mean, this is Josh Allen in a primetime game we're talking about right here. I mean, 230, I almost, to be completely honest, I almost had a Allen 230, Burrow 250 is my show play here as well. So love Allen to obviously spread the ball around. Hopefully Diggs is a big part of that, but absolutely, I think it's a smash spot right here. I didn't know you could do this either. I didn't know you could double up on the same guy, but I like it.
Shout out DraftKings. Any thoughts here, AC, before we move on to NBA?
Yeah, I love this. Just like you guys, he might get the 35 rushing yards on one attempt, to be honest. I think he's hit that 2 or 3 times this year, 36-yarder against the Patriots and I think like 44-yarder against the Jets. A lot of people underestimate how fast he is. Everyone knows he's big and strong, but he's actually really fast as well. And I don't know the Bengals are going to be ready for that. No, I like this a lot. I didn't know you can really do it on the same player. So it's a nice job.
Yeah, I wanted to give one more shout out because I know Stu wants to hear about this. One other guy got this number for a quarterback. Taysom Hill going in only 5 carries against this team. He ended up getting 40 yards rushing, and he only played like 25% of the snaps. So I just thought I'd give you a little shout out to Taysom Hill because obviously Stu might be the biggest Taysom Hill fan I know. More than I am a fan of Pollard. I think that's how big of a fan you are of Taysom Hill. So.
Taysom Hill's great, man. Like, imagine, too, if the Saints had a more creative offense where they'd bring him in and they just run the same play over and over, right? If you've watched any Taysom Hill, like, they run the same little delayed fake handoff. He just runs right up the middle. Imagine if they actually, like, threw the ball once or twice with Taysom Hill. Like, we know he can. He's not great at it, right? He just has to get it in the general vicinity. Teams are playing, like cover one is like generous. Like there's no safety help whatsoever back there. You know, they're just leaving guys one-on-one wide open. So, hey man, Saints, give me a call. I'd make Taysom Hill work. Okay.
Yeah, I actually was on the Saints yesterday, and yeah, Taysom Hill was perfect for the 4-minute offense, right? Just milking the clock down. But they actually did have a creative place to. So they gave it to him, and then he fake pitched it over to Kamara because Kamara was having a game. So it's kind of like a quasi flea flicker, and he ended up taking the sack. So I don't know if they're gonna do any more creative plays with him. But you're right, like the guy is a beast. He only plays a fourth of the game, and no one wants to tackle him. He had a catch that was like a 4-yard out, and he ran like 8 yards for a first down, just running over people. So I like Taysom Hill as well.
Perfect. If you guys have any questions, anything about today, if you got a fantasy championship you're heading into, we'd love to hear about it. Drop it in the comments, and we're going to head on over to some NBA plays tonight. 4 of them from all of us here. AC, you're going to start us off. You got 2 NBA plays for us. We'll kick it to your first one here in a spot I've definitely seen crush in multiple games this year.
Yeah, DeJounte Murray, he's going to be the main defender, and Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole is elite when it comes to production without Steph Curry. But that just means he's going to have a lot of usage, and there's going to be a lot of opportunities to lose the ball, as well as pick up a couple blocks. I like DeJounte Murray. Everybody knows he's an elite one-on-one defender. Super long and lengthy, gets in the passing lane. So I do like this a lot. It's been juiced up, I believe, to -130 now, but I still like it. If you want to play plus money, you could definitely do 2.5 because that might hit as well. I think DeJounte Murray is going to play about 35-40 minutes tonight. I lean Atlanta as well on the side there because the Warriors have been really hot at home. I think it's a good regression spot for them. And they're playing 2 really elite, guards that can score. So I like Atlanta. I like DeJounte Murray to have a big game.
Yeah, I like this spot. I mean, I've been on Murray a decent amount in this category, so I definitely, I agree. It's one of those situations where if you look at the broader, his career, he's a 2-3 steals per game kind of guy, right? I mean, I just don't think he's getting quite as much credit because he's in a new situation. He's not with the Spurs anymore. He's in a bit of a more crowded team right here. But you also reminded me, I mean, he's matched up against Poole. For people out there that are prize picks guys or even just regular bettors, Poole over 3.5 turnovers has been one of the most consistent plays. I believe it's hit in something like 12 of its last 13 games or something like that. So that's pretty much an automatic kind of like 4 turnovers that we can count on from Poole per game, right? Because that's the new role he's in right now. And obviously Murray should be a huge beneficiary of that. Like you said, we know how lengthy he is. We know how disruptive he is. So definitely like this look. High-paced game, plenty of possessions. That also means plenty of chances for turnovers.
Yeah, and Poole's a turnover machine. I just checked his line at 3.5 turnovers. He's hit it in 9 of his last 10 games. That's like impressive, dude. That's really impressive to have 3.5 turnovers, more than that in 9 of 10 games. So obviously we've talked about DeJounte a lot. He's the beast. So I think every single one of these last 3 plays will all be in that Lakers-Charlotte game. And I mean, it's tough to not go to this game. What is it? 242 total. We haven't seen a 240 total in a while. And I'm pretty sure it's only when Charlotte plays, just because of how bad their defense is. But I will kick it over to you, Stu. You're going to start us off with a plus money spot, half unit. I like this spot a lot.
Yep, LaMelo Ball 4 threes, and then we threw in not 4 steals. I don't know about all that. It might be a little bit crazy right there. We threw in a steal to get that up to plus 120 right here. You can get 4 threes at a minus 140, but I don't like that juice as much. I definitely like flipping it, especially for a spot I like with the steal right here. I actually played the same exact combination when they played just a couple games ago, and it ended up being a winner. I believe LaMelo went 4 for 12 from 3, grabbing a couple steals in that one. What I really like about this, LaMelo, he's shooting so much right now. I mean, we talk about volume all the time on the show. The guy's averaging 11 3-point attempts this month since coming back from injury, shooting 39% as well on those 11. Almost 40% shooter on 11 attempts per game is obviously very, very, I would say, elite. I mean, he hasn't been the most efficient so far this season, but on that kind of volume, just to get a guy hitting 40% out there is great. He's one of the few guys, too, in the league where if you go to try to trap him, he'll just shoot right over you. If he sees that second guy coming over, it's pretty much him and Dame. I would say that's the category alone, where if they see that second guy coming over to trap them, they'll just pull up from 40 feet. He has an unlimited trigger, right? He will shoot the ball whenever he best feels like it. We've seen this pretty much since high school. That's kind of been the player he is. So the volume should be there. Steal is obviously an effort stat more than anything else. He hit this, and I believe 9 of 13 games so far this season, averaging 1.6 last year, averaging 1.3 so far this year. The Lakers give up the 9th most steals to opposing point guards so far. And like I said, it's an effort stat. Guys show up against the Lakers. It's just a fact. Guys show up against the Lakers. When you play LeBron James, when you play that, that cachet involved, right? People show up. They play better defense. LaMelo got the steals in the first game. I think he should again. So love the volume right here. I love that we're getting at plus money. I just expect LaMelo to come out, shoot once again. Also forgot to mention, no Kelly Oubre, right? He's ruled out. So that's another 15, 16 shot attempts that are just suddenly taken out of there. So when the green light's going to be on all day long, baby.
Yeah, dude, I know. What was I going to say? It was him and Terry Rozier. I wish they could give me like an over-under shot attempts. I'd probably take combined probably close to 50 in this game without Oubre and with this pace. So I love this spot. And obviously we got a long guard there too, and LaMelo too. So I expect to see. I'm sure Pat Bev will just run straight into the paint, jump pass, and throw it right to him. So it's just a free steal when Pat Bev is out there. I'll go next. I'll let AC close up the show with his spot. So I will take mine here. This is my 1.5 unit play, my biggest spot of the night so far. Paul George, 3 3-pointers facing off against Miami. I'm going LeBron, 25 points. I just couldn't play Paul George. I think it's like minus 170 for Paul George to hit three threes tonight. But we throw it with LeBron to score 25, which is like minus 490 or something like that. So gets us to a nice minus 120 spot. Paul George literally played Miami earlier this month and shot 11 threes, made 5 of them. Obviously, this is the matchup you want for 3-pointers, right? Because Miami is the number 1 paint team in the NBA, allowing 2 points less than the second closest team in terms of points in the paint. Obviously, you have an elite guy guarding the rim in Bam Adebayo. But, man, dude, Paul George is having volume that we haven't really seen him do from 3, attempting 9 threes per game so far this month. And hitting over 40%. I expect to see a lot of threes go up. You can even see he's hit this in 6 of his last 7 games. I expect a lot of threes to go up in this game for them to even keep it close here. Kawhi should be playing too, which makes this game a little bit more competitive. And I know Jimmy Butler's actually not on the injury report, which is something in its own right, that he's actually playing a game and us knowing about it less than 30 minutes ahead of time, because usually that's when I get all my Miami Heat news. So we actually get the props out in this game. And then LeBron, I mean, there's really not much to say in this one. 242 total. This dude has been on fire. Obviously, the huge game, the 47-point game, but he scored 25 points in all but 2 games this month. And those games were against Philly and Cleveland. Obviously, we've seen some pretty high totals in these Laker games, and LeBron is obviously one of the biggest pieces to that. He scored 34 points against these guys in only 34 minutes in their last game. And obviously without AD, his usage is unbelievable. I expect him to easily clear this one. I just had to put another spot with Paul George 3. So any thoughts on LeBron? Any of you guys throwing him in any of your plays tonight?
I mean, it's hard not to with the way he's been playing recently. I mean, since the beginning of last season, averaging over 32 points without Anthony Davis. It's kind of hard to get away from LeBron. Obviously, had that huge game on his birthday a couple days ago that got, the whole world kind of fired up. I'm sure that actually brought the average up from like 32 to 33 right there or something like that. But yeah, just been playing great recently. And I like the PG angle as well. Obviously, we know Miami funnels those 3-point attempts. This is what they've been doing for a long time. And hey, it works. Their defensive scheme is good. They allow some threes. Sometimes it happens and they keep it moving. So definitely like this combo right here.
Beautiful. And AC, you will finish us out here today. A guy we haven't seen him on the show, make the show, but I mean, we were looking at the game logs earlier. It's not a bad spot here. I love this for you, facing the Charlotte team.
Yeah, sticking with the Los Angeles Lakers Charlotte game. They played 2 weeks ago. Thomas Bryant, I believe, he had 13 rebounds in that game in 33 minutes. He started 9 games now since the AD injury. He's hit 30 minutes 5 times. And when he does that, he has over 9.5 rebounds. His most recent game on LeBron's birthday, he went 19-17 against Atlanta. Much better front line than Charlotte. So I think Thomas Bryant is going to be able to eat tonight. 9.5 rebounds might be pretty simple for him because I think he just stays in the paint and then he catches a ton of lobs. So if he's not catching lobs, he might get a couple offensive rebounds as well. So I think this in terms of percentage of rebounds grabbed by a player on a single team, I think he has the highest right now in the last 5 games, just because no one else on the Lakers rebound. It's really just Thomas Bryant. So I like this a lot, over 9.5 rebounds.
Exactly. I mean, LeBron might have been the leading rebounder on the team, but he's like, guys, I got to score 50 points tonight. Somebody else has got to come grab these. And yeah, I have some beef with Thomas Bryant. Not my favorite player in the world as a Wizards fan. I've seen some struggles, but you pretty much nailed it, right? He's not leaving the paint. This is not one of those bigs like Aiden or Bam that we all hate for rebounds because they're always switching on the outside. He can't do that, right? He can't stick with shooters out there. He'll be in the paint. And I like what you mentioned about offensive rebounds too. He plays with passion. He's one of those guys that's always down there fighting, even though he's like 2 inches smaller than everyone else. So unfortunately, I do like this bet right here. I mean, Charlotte's like the marquee matchup. You really can't get any better down there as well.
Yeah, hey, I will never ever say anything bad about fading Mr. Plumlee, my man. Fading him. That dude is so bad for a big down there, especially guarding these bigger guys. Joseph saying he loves this spot. I love it too. Shout out to Joe. Hopefully we'll get you on the show sometime, man. I know we've been trying, but we can't. Busy guys. So yeah, that game is going to be nuts. Holy crap. We got what? 3 plays in this one. But yeah, how do you get away from a 242 total? The only thing that could make this better if it was the late night hammer. It's the only way this could make it better. So let's we can go through our quick recap here. We'll get you guys in and out today. I'll kick it over to you, Stu, to kick us off with our recap for tonight.
Sounds good. We're starting out over in the NFL. We're going Stephon Diggs over 71.5 yards, minus 115 over on MGM. And I play this anything under 75. Then we went over, did a same game parlay on DraftKings. LaMelo Ball to hit 4 threes right here, grab a steal, plus 120.
All right, AC, we'll go on to yours here for the NBA slate.
Yeah, I did 2 NBA player props. First one is DeJounte Murray. The Hawks are in Golden State playing against a really good team that's rolling at home right now. I think Murray's going to have a lot of chances being the primary defender of Jordan Poole. So Murray over 1.5 steals plus blocks. Next one is Thomas Bryant over 9.5 rebounds. The only big man on that team that grabs rebounds. So I think this should hit.
Fade Plumlee. Gotta love it. And I'll be heading to DK for a same game parlay. Josh Allen, 230 passing yards, added with 35 rushing yards. It's a primetime game. Sign me up for a huge game from Josh Allen. And I'll be throwing in one more. Paul George to get 3 3-pointers and LeBron to score 25 points in that 242 total game. Sign me up. 1.5 units, my biggest play of the day so far. AC, tell the people where they can find you. We obviously appreciate you popping on here with us today. Hopefully we'll have you on soon again. What do you got for the people here? Where can they find you?
Yeah, not much going on. Thank you so much for having me on again. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's. Just check me out on Twitter. It's at AnalyticsCapper. Posting a lot of content, posting a lot of free plays on there. So thank you so much for the follow. And thank you again for having me on.
Yeah, of course. Always a great show, AC. I mean, you are the legend of tennis on this show as well. With that 1-0 tennis record over there. So no one really can argue with that. Obviously, you have a place in the history books here. And I do, while you're here, I have one question for you. PPS got me thinking about this. I was looking, he mentioned the late night hammer right here. And I saw this game and it kind of caught my interest. I know you're a bit of a spreads guy. Do you have any thoughts on the Pistons Trailblazers game tonight? Because those are my favorite kind of games. I love when we see two teams like that, right? And I saw the Pistons 9.5. Oh, there goes PPS. 9.5 feels a little bit too much for me. Do you have a take on that one?
Yeah, I mean, if I had to bet, it would be a Pistons play. We know the Blazers don't play any defense at all. The only issue is they are coming off a really bad loss. They should have covered their previous game, I believe, against I forgot who they played, but I was on the Blazers, was pretty mad about that. They had 110 points with over 5 minutes left and ended the game, Stu, with 112 points. So they scored 2 points in the last 5 minutes and change. I think it's a good bounce back spot for the Blazers at home. So if you don't want to play the side, maybe a Blazers team total. But if you had to pick it, yeah, I mean, 10 points is a lot. So I do lean the Pistons there. But Blazers should be scoring a ton of points tonight.
Yeah, no, I think Blazers team total is probably a good look right there. But yeah, I don't know. There's something about the late night hammer. I know the good game, the Hawks Warriors will be what people are watching, but I've got, it's the laptop game like we always talk about. I'll have the Pistons up on the laptop right there. So appreciate that.
That was weird, bro. That was weird. We got we just completely went black in here. So luckily we got a hotspot on the phone rolling here. But hey, Jalen Duren, baby. Just grab his rebounds every single game, dude. That guy is a beast. That guy's a beast.
All right. But yeah, before we get up on out of here, I will have an article over at the 33rd team a little bit later today where I take you guys through another player prop that I like. And then I'll probably have a same game parlay for tonight's NFL game as well over on Odds Checker, because guess what? This is a great game for a same game parlay. I mean, if you're going to play a same game parlay, tonight's got to be the night, right? High total, 2 elite quarterbacks should be a great one for a nice, plus 600, 800 parlay. So tons of stuff coming from all of us. Obviously, Twitters are all right somewhere around here. So yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, we got a fantasy championship. We need Josh Allen and Dawson Knox to get 53 points in a 6-point touchdown league. So if Allen throws a touchdown, we get 6 points. So obviously going to need a huge night out of him. My girlfriend's actually in our 16-team championship. She is in the championship, up 11 in a half-point PPR. They have T. Higgins, so hopefully Jamar Chase goes for 250 and 3 touchdowns. That's what we're hoping for. Because that would be actually kind of funny, because obviously this is her first year ever playing fantasy football. But yeah, 10.5 ain't ideal. That's hopefully it's just Jamar Chase show or Joe Burrow running for 350, I guess. So we'll see. But yeah, I have my YouTube play out. Everything's up over there. Obviously, go check out the articles. Again, appreciate you, AC, for popping on here. We always love to have you, and hopefully we'll get you on here maybe for some playoff action for the NFL.
For sure, man. Definitely have me back on. I love NFL playoffs. I love all playoffs. That's when it's the sharpest.
Love it, love it, love it. So thank you guys so much. Hopefully you're tailing all 6 of these spots for NBA to NFL, and hopefully we get this shootout game that we're hoping for in this primetime Monday Night Football. So have a good one, guys, and best of luck on all of your bets tonight.